Wolves basically safe now. We redeemed ourselves after the horror show against Brighton. And yeah, we're basically safe now. And look, it wasn't a particularly fun game. But, before the game, when J-Lo put his lineup out, I was happy. It still blows my mind how Lopetegui doesn't pick this lineup every week. But he learned from his mistakes, kind of, I guess, against Brighton, where I don't even know what that lineup was. This game was on the players. When J-Lo puts a lineup out like that, there's no complaining anymore. It's all on the players, and no one had a bad game today. And look, I always felt like we were going to win this game anyway. Villa have dropped off the last couple of weeks, and when you lose 6-0, it's kind of just one of those things where you do win the next game. We saw it with Bournemouth when they got pumped like 9-0, and then we played them. They just stunk the place out. It's kind of what happens. Plus, I thought the ref kind of contributed to it as well. Like, I'm not even saying the ref was actually bad. Like, I saw people on Twitter say the ref was bad. I don't think he got anything necessarily wrong. He just chose to referee the game in a way I don't agree with. Like, he let nothing flow. He gave everything as a foul, but I don't really have an issue with that, just as long as you're consistent. And don't, it was irritating in the first half, but when after kind of just accepted that that's what he was going to do, he was pretty consistent, and it actually helped us. Because when Totti scored, fair play, good header. It is weird how Neves isn't. I've never really deeped it, to be honest, but it's mad how Neves has never really taken set pieces for us or like corners. Just because he got that one mad goal against Derby, we've always just put him on the edge of the box. But it was a really good ball in from Neves. Our set pieces are always diabolical anyway. So when we do score one, it's a rarity. I'm happy for Totti as well. He deserved that moment. Obviously, Breno's injured, I assume. So he got his chance again. But again, it's another thing to put on his CV to prove that he should be in next season. Whether that's as a left back or as a centre back, I don't know. But look, he's not taking Craig Dawson's spot. He's not taking Max Kilman's spot. I thought they were both really good today. I feel a lot of the attacking players didn't really get to do a lot. It was just one of those games when you go 1-0 up and Villa aren't really doing anything. There's no point throwing the jugular outlet. And the one thing I liked about Lopetegui today, normally in those sort of games, he subs Cunha off and brings on Moutinho. And when I saw Cunha was coming off, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's doing it again. But he brought on Hwang, and I was like, okay, at least that's like for like. Obviously, it was still kind of a defensive change. And I thought Cunha had a really good game. I'm not slagging off Cunha, but I like the fact Lopetegui didn't. I know he went back 5 in the last 5 minutes, but that's fine. I like the fact when he brought Cunha off, which I wouldn't have brought Cunha off, by the way, but when he did bring Cunha off, he at least brought on another attacker. He didn't just bring on Jan Moutinho. Look, I don't think we should keep Diego Costa, but I thought he had a really good game again. He always plays pretty well at home. Thought Neto had one of his best games in a while. And it feels like Neto's kind of earned himself a place next season. We've got a lot of wingers at the club. But, Sarabi is not playing. Pedence isn't playing. Adama's not playing. Hwang's only coming off the bench. Neto's started the last 2 games, and we're running out of games. And I thought Neto's been good the last 2 games. He's probably been our best performer over the 2 games. Albeit that's because everyone was crap against Brighton. But I think he's earned himself a spot in the team next season. Neves was fine. Lamina was so much better than he was against Brighton. He was awful against Brighton. I think because Lamina's a cult favourite, he didn't really get any criticism against Brighton. But I thought he was really good today, especially in the first half. Nunes, obviously, he always looks better off the right, and that probably contributed to why he was so bad against Brighton when he was basically playing left wing or whatever. But fair play to Nunes and fair play to Jose Sarr as well. I criticised him a lot last week. A lot of people did. A lot of people wanted Bentley in. A lot of people wanted Nunes dropped, which I understood both of those things, and I wouldn't have had an issue with either of them. But you have to give them credit. They got a lot of stick. They were probably feeling the pressure. It still is I know it's a fake derby, but it's still a derby. And they stepped up and they both played well. I didn't think Semedo was awful against Brighton as much as Nunes was, but he got a lot of criticism from, especially the journalists and stuff who don't like him. Thought he had a pretty good game. Totti was good. Dawson was brilliant. And yeah, it just feels like we're going in good direction. I don't really have anything else to say. It was a pretty boring game, but we're safe now. It feels like Lopetegui's found his formula. People keep saying, oh, Lopetegui doesn't know his best 11. This is his best 11. Stick with it. I know we're going away to Old Trafford next week, but if he sticks Nunes out here again and then fucking puts like João Gomez here, I don't just leave it. Leave it, bro. But yeah, good win, and we're safe.